Welcome to our podcast. This is the Hidden Truth with Atushe, your one and only podcast here in Namibia. We're coming to you from Klein Windhoek. Klein Windhoek is in Windhoek, the capital city of Namibia. Okay, today we are joined by the legendary himself, the reggae master, the reggae. You know, when we talk about reggae in Namibia, we're only talking about the main man himself. I don't mean to disrespect or to look down on the others, but we're talking about the man who introduced this reggae to us as we were growing up. This is Ras Sheehama. What do you say? Are you good? What's up?
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, to young people like you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, you caught me on my lunch. You know, I'm eating dry Namibian beans.
Yeah,
you know, but we are relaxing. This should not be a fancy thing, you know.
Yeah. It's not an interview, it's a conversation.
We are in the garden.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. Atushe, talk to me. What would you want to know?
Actually, we want to know, because there are those that are seeing you for the first time, perhaps, because since we are broadcasting on our podcast is on YouTube, those are outside the country or who just like seeing you for the first time. We just want to know who is Ras Sheehama, and yes, tell us more.
Ras Sheehama was born 1966, 29 July. Ras Sheehama is 57 years old now.
This is 2023.
Yes, it's not July yet, but me, I count when the first hour of the new year come. I don't wait for my birth month.
Yeah.
I am 57 years old right now. Yes, Ras Sheehama was born in a little village in Nakayale. Ras Sheehama crossed to the borders into Angola, later into Zambia, and later into Nigeria, because we were fighting for freedom and independence. You know, South Africa, Namibia was under apartheid. In short, that's what I can tell you about Ras Sheehama. Talk to me.
While we are there, crossing the borders from Namibia to exile, how old are you at this time?
I left Namibia when I was 12 and a half years old. 1979, I was 12 and a half years old. If you count, you will exactly know how old I was before July.
Okay, now let's talk about this. Now you are 12 years old. You are crossing the borders. What's next? What's happening? Where are we? Where are we going to? Where are we ending? Who is welcoming us where?
My brother, if I start to talk about this history of freedom and independence, we will not finish. We will spend 10.
Let's talk. We can have also. This is part one. We can have.
I will not tell you about the motivation. I will tell you. Excuse my English.
Yeah.
My English is not too perfect. You know. I will tell you. I will talk to you in English that can make an African 15-year-old boy understand what I'm talking about. Then, when we were born, of course, you are conscious already. At 9 years old, as a 9-year-old Namibian boy, you are conscious already that no, there is a threat around here. And you start to find out what threat that is all about. And by the people discussing your elders, you sit with your elder brothers, you sit with your mother and your father, you start noticing where the threat is coming from. Of course, it was apartheid. So me, as a young boy, I needed something more. I did not need to be stuck in the village because I noticed that musical talent in me from a very young age. I did not want to be stuck there. I wanted to come to town, but how can I come to town to Windhoek? It's the center of the apartheid system. How can I come here? I needed something more. And then there is that freedom fighting of the SWAPO. Southwest People's Organization, it's the thing we used to hear from radio stations. Well, at the radio station in Lusaka, where Saki Namweya was broadcasting these things. The first guy you hear when Swapo shall never, Swapo shall, was from Saki Namweya. You understand what I'm saying? So that made us, as young boys, realize, oh, we are living in this country, but we don't own it. So the only way is to cross the border, to go and regroup. We don't even know. We didn't even know what regroup would mean to us that time. But for us, there was a way out. There was a way out. And the way out was to go and fight for freedom and independence. And it was through, you go through Ambaja, then you go to Angola. Atushe, talk to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Now, that moment, that time that you went outside, who welcomed you? Was there someone that where you directed to as you left? That was said, okay, once you reach there, this is the place where you must go to, or these are the people that you're going to, or these are the people that you're going to see.
My brother, Swapo had everything in plans.
Yeah.
When you cross the border between Namibia into Angola, you exactly know who you are meeting.
Okay.
Whether it's a member of the community of the Umbanja people, or the Ukwanyama people, or the Himba people, or whoever it is, depending where you are crossing from.
So they can ask you questions.
They are not asking you questions. They know already these people are crossing to join the freedom fighters of Swapo.
Good.
So if it's late in the night, they will tell you, spend the night here. They will cook you food, whatever they have. Whether it's a mawungu with no oil, you don't mind. You are a freedom fighter already, so you got to eat what is there. They tell you, tomorrow morning, we take you where the Swapo guerrillas are.
You perhaps remember how many wishes you went to?
When we crossed the country, we were 7 people. 2 of those 7 people retreated before we crossed the border of Angola. They went back to their countries. I mean, to their homes. You understand? It takes somebody to go that far. When we crossed the borders, we were only 5. Me, 3 of my brothers. In Western, I would say 2 of them are my half brothers, because they are only from my father. They are not from my mother. But we come from the same place. And 2 guys. No, 3 left. We were left 3 brothers and Kayofa. I can remember that guy. Kayofa is from that Himba side, but he was schooling with us in Ambaland. Very handsome boy. Kayofa, I remember, he's still alive.
Okay, and then when you get there?
We crossed, we went to the Umbanja people's house. They know exactly where we were going to. So they let us sleep, they cook us food. Then the man came in the night. He slept. He knows his responsibility, because there was a network already with Swapo. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, I know, and then the rest is
history.
So when does music come in? Now you are in Angola, now you are in
music started back home. Okay. Yeah, back in Namibia.
Okay, now let's say now
we are in Angola.
Yeah.
Now we are in Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
We meet Jackson Kawewa. He's got a guitar. We are young boys. He said, independence of the earth, we shall win. One of the days, Namibia will take a place in a free world. How can you resist a guy singing that in exile with a guitar under the tree, and you are talented like me?
Yeah.
Then music for me just said, oh, Swapo has this freedom. People play guitar here because I could not play guitar back home. It's under apartheid. There's this Christianity thing. My father wouldn't buy me a guitar back home. I'm a Sheehama boy, born in '66. My father wouldn't buy me a guitar, although he could afford to buy me a guitar. That's where music started, my boss. We got inspired by Jackson Kauyowa.
So now where you now put in a group to say, okay, this group is going to be soldiers, these are going to be sent to school, these are just going to be in the
You're coming back to me to praise Swapo now. Listen,
we want to
Swapo was a very organized organization.
was.
Swapo, don't talk to me about was. You are talking about the present. The present is your problem. I'm talking about the past. When we were in the camps. Yeah, I said was. Yeah. And it would always be me. I will explain as we go. I know you will ask me a lot of questions about Swapo and the government. I want you to be open to me. And I tell you my truth. If this is hidden truth. Yeah, yellow. See, Swapo wouldn't make you a child soldier. No. When we crossed the border, you are treated in a special way that you feel that you are a child. You don't eat the food that the 18-year boys are eating. Because them will not go to the education camp. They are going to get training and go to the war. Till you turn 18 in Swapo, those days, or 19, they will not force you to go for training. They had education centers where they had standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, standard 4, till you go to Form 1. We had in Kwanzaa Sul.
That's good.
Yes. When we crossed at 12 and a half, I could not speak English. At 15 years, I could hear an American, I could understand an American. Only if you speak those difficult words like congregation and congregation. But 1 + 1 is 2. I would understand an American or an English person what he's saying. In the camps of Swapo.
So how did you then, okay, sorry for that.
It's fine.
Did you then happen to become a soldier? Did you happen then to come to the front?
No. But you had training in Swapo, whether you are 12 years old. You undergo training. You must be able to know how to shoot an AK-47. You must be able to know how to smuggle a hand grenade. You see, you don't even know that people can smuggle a hand grenade. Bring it to me, a hand grenade. I'll take that thing out for you. That thing out, then I throw it there. I say, listen, it's only this thing. That thing cannot harm you. That thing with military, I take out this thing, I have it in the hand. Not the thing that you pull. No. The thing that you pull is attached to something that goes in the hand grenade. I can be able to pull that thing that goes in the hand grenade and throw the hand grenade there. It will go.
So, okay, now, from there now, what happened for you to become the greatest music that
you see?
That we later...
We went to Kwanzaa Sul. Kwanzaa Sul, we made Jackson Kauyowa. You know, the whole culture started happening. There is what we call Ohungi. Ohungi is like a social gathering in the night. There does not have to be electricity, my brother. You understand? People dance from the moon. Then the girls are dancing the concert. You understand? Jackson Kawewa is performing with the guitar. We pick it up. Then in Swapo, you are in Angola. They will always try to find ways to send you to further education.
That's actually what I wanted to ask us to go to.
Then we moved to Nyango. I was in Zambia.
Yeah. We must.
You understand? You see, Angola was more communist. You understand? There's army all over. You understand? You have to hustle to go and sell your clothes to an Angolan or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Zambia is democracy. The people are speaking English. We go to school in Zambia. And one of my friends, we ended up in a camp called Nyango, and there was Zambian soldiers before. I don't know for what reason. They also had their freedom fighting, whatever it is. Then one of my friends picked up a guitar, self-made guitar, but proper self-made guitar, but it did not have strings.
Oh. It's not the one that they use with fish line strings?
But the strings were not there.
Okay.
Even these things were not there to tune the guitar. You know, the guitar is like this. You have heads where you put the string, then it goes ding, 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 as it goes up to tune the guitar. Those strings were not there.
Okay.
I bought this guitar from this guy, 15 watches.
With no strings.
Because I knew a guy from the Caprini called Kafufu. He had a guitar. I think he was the only guy who was having a guitar by then. So in the morning I took that guitar from him to Kafufu. Then Kafufu, hey, it's fine. Then he fixed the guitar. He put 3 fish things. He cut the tree like this, and then he put a hole. Then he put it in the guitar. He started going to make it stand. To hold, you have to put water, because when the dry wood, get water, it swallows, so it doesn't go back. If the water starts to dry out, then it goes back. Then the guitar starts to distune itself. If you understand what I'm saying, if I'm speaking proper English,
I do understand.
you understand.
I remember there was also a guy that used to make those.
Yeah. Then we started with that. Kafufu taught me African tune.
Yeah.
We call it African tune. I can't play it now. I don't even know how to tune it now. But that's what we started with. And then, of course, development came. Then one of my uncles came. He was studying in Lusaka, the Institute of Namibia. Then he went to Botswana. They say secondment at that time. I think it's practical. Then he bought a national, it's called national. It's a radio. It's called a cassette. It's a radio. So when he came to Nyango, he gave me that radio and 2 cassettes where I had Bob Marley, maybe 3 songs, Peter Tosh, Eric Donaldson. Then I had Steve Kekana. Then ABBA, you know the ABBA, yeah, and a band called Shalama. So I started listening to those cassettes, and in the meantime I could tune into Radio Botswana. That's where I listened to people like Miriam Makeba, Steve Kekana, if you remember those people. And from there, my whole pot started cooking.
Yeah, and then where does Nigeria go?
We were doing secondary school in Nyango, in Swapo camps. I was in Form 1 already. That's what I'm telling you.
Before, like
1984. You understand? I was in the camps of Swapo in Form 1, being taught by Namibian teachers who went to West Africa long before us to get education. Maybe they got sent to where China, wherever, Russia, wherever, even in England. They come to teach us back in the camps.
Okay, just a minute. I just want to just we are broadcasting, recording from open space. We are on top of the mountain here. Okay, yeah, this you as you say.
Viewers, don't worry. As I told you, they got me home. I could not finish my breakfast. I'm sorry when I'm speaking with food in my mouth, but please understand me. It's a social thing, it's not political, it's not religious. We talk. Talk to me.
Yes, I was asking you about Nigeria.
Then, as I said, Swapo was very organized. We were called to go and take part in an examination that makes you qualified to go and study in Nigeria. Of course, we were taken from the camp of Nyango, which is about 800 kilometers from Lusaka. It's like you are going to Ondango. So we were brought, and we were given examination by Nigerians under the High Commission of Refugees. So I tell you, Swapo was very organized. So we took the examination, we came back to Nyango, and then in a few weeks, we were called. 21. Yeah. You have to go and further your secondary school in Nigeria. So we went to Nigeria with Zambian Airways. We went to Kenya, Nairobi. They put us in Pan American Airways. I don't know if it exists these days, but that's what we took. We ended up in Lagos. And then I don't have to talk about Lagos. I don't even have to explain to you where my musical melting pot comes from. It's from Lagos. I did not start recording in Lagos. No, I was in secondary school. Then in the night, I sneak out, then go to places where people are performing, go to where people are hanging around studios, and watch people. I ended up going to Fela Anikula Pokuti Shrine in Ikeja. Nigeria na my second home. If I start to blow, nobody go say no. This bobo no be Naija. Na lie. You understand? That's where my musical thing came from. You see, when I am here, people talk about reggae. There is very little reggae in my music. There is the roots reggae in my music. But when you listen well, I would call it Afro reggae. I was inspired by a lot of people from Jamaica till we go to guys like Alpha Blondy. See the Ivory Coastian man who say Coco, Coco now, Coco the rock, Coco, Coco, Coco the Rasta. It's Ivory Coastian. He's older than me. He's very dangerous, Nati. Alpha Blondy. Yeah, no. Talk to me again.
So, okay, now we are done Nigeria. We are coming back home. Is it now prior independence or post-independence? How was the arrangement now to get you guys from that side to come back home? And,
my friend.
because now we want to know now rules. this person now?
The arrangement was all good. That's why Ras Sheehama is here. Talk to me. What do you want to know?
No, I actually want to know now that whole process of organizing you guys to come back from here, and then when you get here, where did you settle? Did you go back home to that place? Did you settle here?
Coming to you now.
Yeah. Now you talk to me.
We came back to Namibia. I will talk to you till you stop me.
Okay, good.
Came back to Namibia. We came back from exile. I was a member of the money to do the election campaign. Came here with Tate and Ipon. They were kissing the ground. We were part of that. We did the election campaign. You understand? And me now, I am an individual artist. I cannot stay in the money. I play reggae. Some kind of rebel, so I had to break away, not in a negative way, in a positive way. Rasta, you understand? I cannot be in a band that is owned by a political organization, although I am a member of that political organization. For me, I had to put one and two together, then it gives me three. If it would have given me two, then it's wrong. I wouldn't stay, or I would go away. You understand? From there, we come in Namibia. There was nothing really. Then we started watching something. There was something like music makers competition. I took part in music makers competition. Me and Jackson Kawira and some other people who were in the country. I became second from Jackson Kawira, and then I took part the second time. I became the first, and I was awarded 2 concerts in France and voice training in France. We went for it. I will perform at Printemps Festival in some small clubs in France. You understand? I came back to Namibia, and then I got called by Paul Jobet. He's an old Afrikaner man. He passed now. You understand? Then he called me. He said, "Ras, I want to sign you up." It was not for a lot of money that time. He sent me to South Africa to record in a studio called Cardboard Box, owned by a white guy called Ian Osrin. I started recording there. He got me session musicians. Some of the musicians were Lucky Dube's band, especially the bass guitarist and the keyboardist, and some of them came from Stimela, especially like Tapelo, Pomo, you understand, and a few that I cannot. And then I recorded King's Music, where Kasinga was. I think it was way back in 90s, and Tuli Tuli Puleni came now, and then Ras Sheehama was born in Namibia. That's how far I can take you.
Yes, that's good. This is Ras Sheehama that we are talking to here on our broadcast.